Hi everybody, welcome back. Tony again with Shinsho Yoga. And for this week's video, I'd like to talk about a concept that the mindset that got you into your problem won't get you out. The mindset that got you in won't get you out. When people talk to me about the issues that they have, the problems that they're having, or the struggles that they have, I see it time and again, approaching the problem the same way that they got into the problem. Right? So whatever their issue is, they got into this problem and then they're like, okay, I'm going to solve it. And they keep going at it the same way. And without fail, time and again, I have seen this happen over and over. The problem never gets resolved. It may change shape. It may move from one to an area to another, but the problem is never resolved. Because the same mindset that got them in will not get them out. I often talk about in my classes what I refer to as the merry-go-round. That is, we do the same thing over and over in life and expect a different result, right? We're doing something goes wrong, right? We're trying to change it, things get better for a little bit, and then the problem comes right back up again, so we try to change it, things get better for a little bit, and then the problem comes right back up again. It's the merry-go-round. It's the same thing over and over and over and over and over. The only way you can get out of the problem is to change the mindset that got you in. Change how you approach the problem. Change the track you're on. Get off the merry-go-round. Changing yourself is the only way to change the problem. Most people don't want to. That's the hardest thing to do too, is to change ourselves. We often look externally and we often want to blame everyone else. We want to blame our surroundings. We want to blame friends, family, job, neighbors, whoever it is, right? Whatever it is we have, we want to blame everyone else for our problems. Our problems are our problems. Their problems are their problems, right? The ones that we have internally inside us are the ones that are going to affect us on a daily basis and affect everything around us and affect how we interact and affect the situations that we get in. They're us. And the only one that can solve them is us. So if you keep having the same problems over and over and you keep trying to change them, right, by going, oh, well, I'll do this time, I'll do that this time, I'll do this that time. If you haven't changed the mindset that you're in, the problem won't change. So how do we change the mindset? What do we do with that? Comes back to these practices as always. Right? Meditation, in my opinion, is one of the major keys to that. One of the major bits of healing you can do. The concept in meditation, especially Zen Buddhist meditation, is to learn to be present in the moment that we're in. I often say in my classes that if you're having thoughts of the future, they will pull you into anxiety. If you're having thoughts of the past, they will pull you into depression. We look to be present in the moment that we're in. That's where your happiness is, right? The more that we meditate, the more that we practice, and what I offer in the way of Zen offers, the same thing I teach, is that following of the breath and being present in the moment that we're in, right? The more we practice that, the more it cuts a groove in our life, right? What we do in our practices, in what I offer, right, is based off Zen Buddhism, based off Buddhism, right? Is this following of the breath, right? And letting thoughts arise, letting them pass by, and returning to the breath. And we do this over and over and over. And we learn to do this in any situation that we're in. Instead of reacting to a situation, we pause, we breathe, we let all of the emotion and thought pass by, and we just be present in it. Right? Usually when something comes up, we do this. Can't get out of the problem we're in with the same mindset that got us into it. Keep meeting it like this, over and over and over. The problem won't change. So instead of when the problem comes up, and instead of doing this, we do this. We let it pass by. Right? As my teacher says, that cuts a groove. The more we do that, little by little, like a record. Right? We've got to change the track we're on. Right? We're on the same track, doing the same thing over and over. We need to cut a new groove. We cut that groove by taking pause, right, and breathing. and letting it pass by and coming back to being present in the moment that we're in. And as we do that over time, that groove gets deeper. It's like water over a rock. The more the water flows over the rock, the more it wears the rock. You pour water over a rock for a couple days, it's not going to do anything. You do it for 1,000 years, and you've got the Grand Canyon, right? So we just keep doing it, right? And slowly we cut this new groove in our life that eventually, when that problem comes up, instead of, we go, we don't react to it. And this is where the change starts. We start to see things differently. We start to respond versus react. We begin to respond to the problem. The outcomes start to become different very slowly. Change begins to happen. But we have to start with that learning to be present in that moment of what we do. Because again, the same mindset that got you into the problem won't get you out of the problem. Right? And you can think you're going to change your mindset. You'll say, well, I'm going to change my mindset and do it differently. It won't, because this is set. This is a track. This is a groove that you're on, right? That you're doing over and over. You have to create a new groove. You have to create a new track. And that's what these practices are about, right? The yoga practice that I offer, right? That's where our focus is. I always tell people how well you do in the practice physically for the day is inconsequential. Some days you're Gumby, some days you're the Tin Man. Put in an honest effort, breathe and follow your breath, let your thoughts arise, let them pass by, return to the breath, right? You do that through your practice, right? Putting in that honest effort, doing the best you can for that day, and change will come slowly over time. You do that consistently, you do that regularly, you do a disciplined practice, right? Then on top of that, if you want to make that really stick, really make the huge changes, you have to have a dedicated, disciplined, formal meditative practice to be able to work on that groove. Just sitting and working on that, right? In our yoga practice, again, what I offer with that breath work, right, we work on that, but we work on other things too. We're working on moving the energy in the body. We're looking to open up the body. We're looking to also physically do things like build strength, increase our flexibility, increase our heart rate, right? And we're also working on our mind. Our focus is here, but we do these other things. Your seated meditative practice, you're not working on those other things. You're just working on that breath work. You're just working on being present in the moment. You're just working on that groove. And not that you're focusing on that groove, going, I'm cutting a new groove. We're just breathing and we're following the breath and we're letting those thoughts arise. We're letting them pass by. And every time we do that, it gets a little deeper. It gets a little stronger. And it slowly starts to creep into everything else in our life. And then at some point, you'll just notice that you are not reacting to the problems that come up. You're responding. And we're not meeting them like this. So the same mindset that got you into the problem won't get you out. You have to learn to change that track that we're on. And again, I recommend a formal disciplined meditative practice like Zazen. There's other ones, right? You can research and do what you want. Your yoga practice, focus on your breath. Right? But you have to change that track. That's all I have for today. As always, take from that what serves you, get rid of the rest. That doesn't mean take what's comfortable and get rid of what's uncomfortable, because we often need what is uncomfortable to serve us. Thanks again for watching. Namaste.